The Rose Garden Massacre. After the POTUS and FLOTUS reported testing positive for the virus, I suspect we'll be hearing more about the Rose Garden Massacre. In this video, I'll give you a bare-bones explanation of what the Rose Garden Massacre is, and I'll tell you how this connects with Lynn Anderson, who famously recorded her version of the song Rose Garden. Shout out to the YouTube channel, Maybe It's Mandelaed. That's how I first heard of the song. And also a quick shout out to LOD versus the Internet, who commented to me about what's now being called the Rose Garden Massacre. Some of you know I've been going on lately about a rose theme, and Dan Barrett and I have been trading details about this. So if you're looking at the video screen, off in the top left corner, there's a Guns N' Roses type logo I found on a t-shirt. I'm not going to talk much about that image in this video, but I have a playlist linked below called The Rose Theme. Talk about Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses, all things roses. At this point, there'll be 5 videos, but no doubt I will be adding more. Regardless if you're following my videos about the Rose theme, the Skull and Bones influenced Guns N' Roses image is self-explanatory. Anyway, Lynn Anderson is most remembered for a song she covered called Rose Garden. Lynn Anderson's birthday is September 26th. Last week on September 26th, Trump held an event at the Rose Garden in the White House to introduce Amy Barrett, his nominee for SCOTUS. Since then, several people in attendance have reported that they have tested positive for the virus. TMZ reported that the event was quote-unquote ground zero for what is increasingly looking like a super spreader COVID event. Media outlets are pointing out that most of the people in attendance were not even wearing masks. And if you look at the photos, you can see that instead of the recommended 6 feet apart, many of the chairs were more like 6 inches apart. President Trump, his wife Melania, and at least half a dozen others who were in attendance at this Rose Garden event supposedly tested positive for COVID. That's one reason people are calling this the Rose Garden Massacre. And to be fair, that title was already in effect because of changes that Mrs. Trump made to Jackie Kennedy and JFK's Rose Garden design. And I'm tempted to go on a tangent about Kennedy connections there, but save it for another time. I just wanted to stress that the hashtag Rose Garden Massacre existed at least as far back as August. But after several people who attended this Rose Garden event are reporting they supposedly got the V word, that title, the Rose Garden Massacre, seems so much darker now. Anyway, the main purpose of this video was to add more weight to the Rose theme. And I've been on about that for a while. And again, links are in the description box. I'm not going to rehash everything here, but in the first video of the playlist, I started out with a quote from a Charles Manson letter to Marilyn Manson. He said, "Sunstroker corona coronas coronae." Obviously, corona is a word that we can attribute to the sun, the S-U-N, and there is a play on words with the S-O-N, son of man, man's son. It's been said the followers of Charlie Manson thought he was like Jesus. Get it? Son of man. Anyway, about the more recent Manson, even the first half, Mary line, son of man from the line of Mary. It's not just about the beauty in the beast, but if you think about that story... Anyway, I talked about Marilyn Manson in the song We Are Chaos, in which he sings the words, "We are sick," quite a few times. And that Manson music video reminded me of the movie V for Vendetta. Among other things, the rose is a symbol for the famous V card carrying saint, Virgin Mary. So there was a virus in the movie V for Vendetta. It was called Saint Mary's virus. The virus made a lot of people sick, which made way for a political party to offer their version of order out of chaos. Spoiler alert. Sorry, fair warning. The title character V sends everybody face masks bearing the likeness of Guy Fawkes. And then countless numbers of people are wearing the face masks in the end. So everybody's wearing masks. And in the music video for We Are Chaos, Marilyn Manson song. Everybody's wearing, instead of the likeness of Guy Fawkes, they're wearing the likeness of Marilyn Manson. At one point, the screen is filled with, looks like people wearing face masks that look like Marilyn Manson. Anyway, in the first minute of that music video, you can see a big rose that grows out of Marilyn Manson's head. There's more connecting him to the Rose theme as I've gone over, but that's just a tiny recap. And the main takeaway for this video is the Rose theme continues. Somebody in my comments section texted me yesterday about the song Rose Garden and the birthday and death date of the singer. I gotta say, great job, Wendy. I did know about the dates already, but I do appreciate her for sharing that. And the super spreader COVID event, the Rose Garden Massacre, occurred on September 26th, as I said. September 26th, again, was Rose Garden singer Lynn Anderson's birthday. The September 26th Rose Garden event was a span of 7 months, 30 days after Amy Barrett's birthday. The Rose Garden event was about introducing Amy Barrett as Supreme Court nominee. 7 months, 30 days reminds me of July 30th. Wouldn't you know, Lynn Anderson died on 7/30. July 30th, which can appear as 30/7. July 30th next year will have been 307 days after the Rose Garden Massacre.